Yo, it's your boy Marita Boy. I'm back up in this thing, man. Listen. If you missed the last live we did, you missed a good one. You missed a good one. I enjoy when the participation between the chat, the subscribers, and the people on the panel is just so cohesive, and we just flow as one well-oiled machine, and that's what we did last night, man. That's what we did last night. So, I told y'all what I do here on this channel, man. I the topics that I bring interesting. I bring topics that are interesting. Of course, I bring hot topics as well, you know. And a lot of times, the topics that I feel find interesting or that I bring, they're gonna be the topics that a lot of people find interesting that they bring to their platforms. But every now and again, you know, um, we stumbled upon or bring topics to the platform that other people just didn't deem interesting or just didn't want to cover on their platform. That's cool. That makes us unique. That makes every platform is different. You know what I mean? Depending on who's the host of the platform or the owner of the channel is different. So here we decided to cover uh Mexico's first female president. And the reason why I decided to cover it is because I love history. I love history. I'm a history fan. I did very well in history in school. I like to watch old documentaries. I like to watch stuff about the past. I just like history. Um, I love history class at school and all of that. So just like the other day, I did the we put Donald Trump in the news cycle on this channel because he became the first president or former president ever be charged with a felony. You know what I mean? That's history. He may be the first former president to ever go to jail. You know what I mean? So that's history. You know, we are living in a time and history is being made, and I'm just a fan of history. It just goes even when like LeBron James was became the all-time leading points leader in the NBA earlier this year. So I like history. Shout out to my girl T.N. Bowens. I like history. So I decided to um, talk about Miss Claudia Scheinbaum, the lady that you see here on the screen last night, just because it was history. She was the first female president of Mexico, right? Now, honestly, I was gonna paint her as a drug, a cartel drug lady, anyways. Just anyways, just because most of the, if not all, of the Mexican presidents have eventually had ties to organized crime, the cartels. So I was just gonna automatically throw her in there, and that's what I attempted to do. But I was gonna do it entertainingly. You know what I mean? You know, crack a couple jokes and lead us down this rabbit hole that eventually we was gonna you know call her a drug dealer or something, right? And it was just gonna be all pure speculation. It was just gonna be all pure speculation, right? Um, I planned on digging into her a little bit, but I didn't know if I was gonna find anything. But either way, if I found anything or not, I was gonna still paint her as a drug lady, a cartel member, whatever. But something amazing happened last night when we was on live. And shout out to my girl Tania Bowens. Shout out to T.N. Bowens, investigative reporter. You know what I mean? I guess we can call her what is it, Velma? Is that Velma from Scooby Doo? Velma? Yeah, that's Velma. You know what I mean? Because Miss Scheinbaum would have got away with it if it wasn't for us and that and the, it's for, it wasn't for the Scooby Doo and those meddling kids. If it wasn't for us, shout out to Bashan. Shout out to Slime Life Max. You definitely Velma. Shout out to everybody. I think I might be Shaggy then. I think I'm Shaggy. So shout out to everybody that was on live with us last night because we went to digging. We went to digging into Miss Scheinbaum's past, and we found out that she's a Jewish woman. She's a Jewish woman. She's a Jewish Mexican. She's Mexican because she grew up in Mexico, but she's Jewish because her family is Jewish. Um, her father is, I think let me get it right. I think her father's Lithuanian. He came to Mexico in the early 1930s, 1920s, or something like that. Her mother was born Mexican in Mexico, but her family is from Bulgaria, some shit, Bulgaria. So they're immigrants, but her mother was born in Mexico and lived her whole life in Mexico. She was born in Mexico, lived her whole life in Mexico, and her father was from Lithuania. So, but they're Jewish, and this was odd. This was strange because anybody know anything about Mexico? Mexico is a devout Catholic. They're definitely a Catholic uh, society, a Catholic community. You know what I mean? And they staunch Catholics. You know, Mexican people are staunch Catholics. So this kind of stuck out to us as to damn, uh, how did this woman become the first female president of Mexico? She's not even Catholic. She's Jewish, you know. And we found out that her father was a chemical engineer. He started a company. They say that was very instrumental in creating um, the precursor chemicals that would help in the leather tanning industry. But if you know anything about the cartels, you know, I mean, he's a chemical engineer, chemist. You know, that would be a pretty good thing to know if you want to be dealing with in a cartel or dealing with the cartel or doing business with a cartel or working for a cartel or running your own cartel. I don't know. But that raised an eyebrow for us. Aha. So we start digging. We started digging. We started digging. We started digging. And we found out that her mother was a very smart lady. She was a cellular engineer, I think, and she had a lot of degrees. These are very smart people. Let's just say this off top. These are very smart people. These are very well educated people. These people have succeeded in the highest levels of education. You know what I mean? They have a lot of degrees. Miss Scheinbaum herself was part of a group that won the Nobel Peace Prize. Yes, and her Miss Scheinbaum herself is a climate scientist or whatever, whatever, and she's also been in politics for a very long time. I think she's the former mayor of Mexico City or something like that. I'm not sure, but it was something like that. But while we were digging, Velma, aka T.N. Bowens. Yes, our very own T.N. Bowens. Yes, discovered the red herring. Aha! Aha! Miss T.N. Bowens went to digging, digging, and those little fingers just went to typing on that phone. And she went to Googling and she went to Googling simultaneously as we were going through the live. And she says, Marita. I said, yes, Miss T.N. What's going on? She says, I have it. Everybody stopped digging. The room was silent. She said, Marita, do you know 37 candidates in this election were murdered? I fell out my seat. All I heard was that music that DJ Academic be playing when when something happens. He says, and I fell down to my knees when the law came. That's what I did. I just fell down to my knees when the law came. I said, that's it. That's it, Chanel. You got it, baby. You got it. You got it. 37 people, candidates, had been murdered since this election had started. Not only that, that's the most that had ever been murdered in any election in Mexico history. I want to tell you another thing, too. It's that's just how many have been murdered. It's many more that have been kidnapped, beaten, and threatened. Also, really, it's more than 37. It's close to about 200. You know what I'm saying? If you really count the rest of the people that wasn't like candidates and and stuff like that. And I'm gonna get into that too when I show you what I've discovered earlier today also. So, we went down that rabbit hole last night and after we had found that there was 37 people that was 37 candidates that were murdered in this election process, we found out there was only two candidates left. The Mexican people only had two candidates to vote for at the end of this election. All right. And it was Miss Scheinbaum and another lady. I can't say her name. I can't pronounce her name. She got a funny name. It started with an X. I do not know how to pronounce her name. But Miss Scheinbaum won with 60% of the vote. Right now, you see Miss Scheinbaum right here. She's being heralded as the first Mexican female president, and she made history. But when you look deep into how she became the first female Mexican president, you realize that something sinister had to be going on here. Like how could 37 people be murdered and she could be so happy that she won the election? She's been in politics for a number of years. These are people that she knew. These are people that she's lived in Mexico for all her life. She's 61 years old. These are people that she knew. 37 people, 37 candidates were murdered. And actually, the number's probably bigger than that. But this is what the Mexican people are reporting. But they kind of tamp the numbers down so it doesn't look as bad. But people are speculating there's much more. Independent people are saying that it's much more than that, right? So I turned on the TV today. Denise said Marita talking was just talking about this lady, and then I see that I'm telling you, hey, listen. So we was very interested last night, and I was debating. I said, you know what? Because we stumbled into this. We didn't know all of this stuff had happened before we did the live stream. That's why you should go back and look at the live last night so you can see this thing develop organic because it was funny as hell. You know what I mean? It was like interesting. It was like we was just snooping. We was just snooping. We was just snooping into this lady's life, and we found some shit. Now I'm gonna say this. Um, I was debating on whether doing another video about her because I thought it needed a little bit more thorough video on her because I wanted to do some more research and find out some more stuff on her, and then I want to, put it back out, do another, give it its full attention that I feel like it deserved because this is such a historical thing that's going on in Mexico. When you look at the news outlets, none of them was really talking about what we're talking about. They're talking, oh, the first Mexican president, but nobody's talking about the sinister stuff that went on behind the scenes or right in front of everybody in order for this lady to become the first female Mexican president. Everybody's talking about the history, but nobody's talking about the dead bodies that lay at her feet. Nobody but us. There's nobody in our sector that's even talking about this. Hey, that's cool. That's cool. I ain't hating on nobody, but I'm just saying, we the first. You know what I'm saying? We the first. You know what I mean? We could talk about rappers and all that, and we will. That's really going on here. That does affect us when you break it down to it, because do you know Mexico has become the United States #1 trade partner? It used to be China. Now it's Mexico. Do you know that Biden, Sleepy Joe, he has adopted an open border policy now. Who knows what's flowing back and forth across that border? We like to think about drugs, but let's think about the human trafficking. Let's think about the children or the women or the organs that might be trafficking back and forth across that border since Mexico's become our #1 trade partner. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I'm just saying things to think about. But this morning, I woke up right, and I had Miss Claudia Scheinbaum on my mind. I'm not gonna tell y'all no lie. I had her on my mind. So I had her on my mind so much so I called my son, right? And I was talking to him about Miss Claudia Scheinbaum, and he was just listening to me. He was listening to me, and I was telling him how me and the gang, what I mean, came up and discovered, some secrets or some horrors that happened during the Mexican election. And I told him what we speculated about Miss Scheinbaum and things of this nature. And he let me talk. I talked for maybe about a good 5, 10 minutes, and he let me talk. He just listened. He just listened. He just listened. He said, "Hey, Dad." I said, "Yeah." He said, "The Mexican mayor just got murdered today, right?" I said, "No." He said, "Yeah." He said, "The Mexican mayor, the lady, she got murdered today." He said, "That's what I thought you was finna tell me about." He said, you didn't know that? I said, no, I didn't. He said, yeah. He said, yeah. So this lady right here, let me show you. This lady right here was murdered today. 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 She was murdered today. She's the Mexican mayor. She was murdered today. I'm gonna read up about this, and I'm gonna drop the link for you, Tennille, so you can come up if you choose and talk about what you discovered about um the Mexican mayor. Cause you discovered some stuff too to go back and listen to the live for that. For real, they got to go back and listen to it. Yeah, my son told me that. Yeah, my son told me she died. I didn't know she died. My son told me. You know what I'm saying? So it says gunmen have killed the female. Lord forgive me. Matter of fact, let me stop. My condolences go out to her family. My condolences go out to her and her loved ones, and may God have mercy on her soul. You know, for real, because she lost her life today, and I shouldn't even be laughing about that. But gunmen have killed the female mayor of a town in Mexico just hours after the country celebrated the election of Claudia Sheinbaum as the nation's first woman president. Yolanda Sanchez was shot in the town of Catija. I think I got it right, which she had governed since September 2021. She was the first woman to be elected to the post. Widespread violence against politicians has overshadowed Mexico's general election, which saw two women run for presidency. But it was only two women at the end of the uh, election. Everybody else had been murdered. Everybody else who had ran for Mexico's president had been murdered. It was only two people that the Mexican people had to choose from. Another lady, I forgot what, or with the X, I forgot her name. She got a funny name. And then Miss Scheinbaum. They only had two. Local media say she was shot 19 times and died in hospital shortly after the attack. Her bodyguard was also killed in the gun battle. No arrests have been made so far in connection with the attack, but it's widely thought that the gunman belonged to an organized crime group, the cartel. I told y'all. Ms. Sanchez had reported receiving death threats after taking up office in September 2021. She was held for 3 days by armed men who had seized her at gunpoint during a visit to the neighboring state of Jalisco in 2023. The politician said that her kidnappers had made demands and inflicted physical terror before releasing her, which she said that she did not know what criminal group they belonged to. She lied. She knew who they belonged to because they told her. She doesn't want to tell nobody. Newspapers said the most likely culprits were the Jalisco New Generation Cartel. Damn. The CJNG engaged in drug trafficking as well as kidnapping for ransom and extortion. It is also infamous for targeting public officials who refuse to do its bidding. Ms. Sanchez, yeah, knowing Mexico's history, I'm sure for real. Ms. Sanchez said that the men who had threatened her after she had taken office had demanded that she hand the security of their town over to state police officers in the pay of organized crime groups. Hold on, let me back this up here. Let me see. Ms. Sanchez said that the men who had threatened her after she had taken office had demanded that she had hand the security of the town over to state police officers in the pay of organized crime. Hold on. I don't understand this. To state police in the pay. It's it's something wrong with this word. It's something wrong right here. And it's between in the pay. Something's wrong here. Hand the security over to the state police officers. I got that. In the pay of organized crime groups. I don't understand that. They had to fuck up here somewhere with some of these words. I can't figure out what the fuck they're trying to say right here. But anyway, so I would assume that the state police worked for or had been infiltrated by the CJNG cartel, right? That's why they wanted her to hand the security of the town over to them. So basically, they was going to control the town, and they was going to be able to extort whoever they wanted to extort in the town, because the state police, either they run the state police, or either they had to infiltrated the state police to the point to where they can tell the state police what to do. See, this is the problem here, y'all. And I got a friend that was telling me a story about when they went to Mexico, and they said that they got pulled over, and shit, the first thing at the police asked them for was money. You know what I mean? And they happened to have some money, like a couple $100, something like that. But each one of them in that car had to pay, I think, a couple $100. Like, and if they didn't pay that couple $100, who knows what would have happened to them? So this is the level of corruption that goes on in Mexico, in some place in Mexico. I don't know. I've never been to Mexico, so I don't want to say every place in Mexico like that, but it goes on in Mexico. If you ever watch that movie, Sicario, um, the police work for the cartels, like real shit. Like, you think that the police, uh, if when the police come, you'll be safe. A lot of times when the police come, you're worse off than if you was just with some regular people from the community. You know what I mean? Like real shit. Like, so, yeah. So she refused and asked for the military to reinforce the town. The mayor was also provided with armed bodyguards after the incident. Her murder on Monday came less than a day after a general election that was overshadowed by the murder of the local candidates. More than 20 people running for office have been killed since September, according to official figures, but independent surveys have put the number closer to 40. These are people that was running. They killing the motherfuckers. Like, that's a lot of fucking people, bro. That's a lot of fucking people. Like, damn. The presidential race was won by Claudia Sheinbaum, who will be sworn in on the 1st of October as the first woman to hold the top office in Mexico. Miss Sheinbaum defeated rival. This is a lady name right here, dog. I can't say her name. Galvez. It's Xochitl Galvez. Has been critical of the violence which marred the campaign. Miss Galvez. Let me see. Okay, I just want to say. Ms. Galvez said that when she called Ms. Scheinbaum on Monday, she told her that I saw Mexico that had a lot of pain and violence. I wish that she could solve the severe problem our people have. While Ms. Galvez conceded defeat after unassailable Ms. Scheinbaum's unassailable lead in the polls was announced, she has since described the campaign for the presidency as an unequal competition against the entire state apparatus dedicated to favoring its candidate. Do you hear that right? So they say. So what she's saying is the race was fixed for Miss Scheinbaum to win. So Miss the former president, I forgot what his name was. He is allies with Miss Scheinbaum, right? They're the same party. They the same, right? So what they're saying is Miss Scheinbaum was put in to be a puppet for whoever's running the country, because the other president was, he was a puppet as well. So I guess when he got out of this, when he was, because I think presidents in Mexico was 6 years. So I think what they're saying happened was, once this one president candidate, when this once this the last president's presidency was ending, they was looking for a successor to him, and the successor to him was Miss Scheinbaum. And what they did was anything they had to do to make sure Miss Scheinbaum would win the election. And if that included killing 40 candidates, that's what they did. And it was only two candidates left. It was Miss Scheinbaum and this lady here, Miss Galvez. And Miss Scheinbaum won with 60% of the vote. Crazy, ain't it? She also said she would challenge Miss Scheinbaum's win without specifying how later. Let me tell you something, Miss Galvez. You need to go on and take that L and get the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? Do not challenge Miss Shine Bombs candidacy or none of that shit. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all this. I'm gonna say this too, dog. What I've been listening and I did a little research. I'm gonna show y'all a video later on that I discovered about this election. They say the most dangerous job in Mexico is running for public political office. The most dangerous job in Mexico. They say as soon as you try to run for political office, you are a target. One way or the other. Plumo, plata, silver, or lead. Either you're going to take the bribe or you're going to get these motherfucking bullets. But it's the problem, though. It's more than one cartel that wants control of these certain areas, wants control of these certain uh, um, routes and wants to have control and influence over politicians. So what happens is, if you let's say you're a politician and you linked in with one cartel, like you do what they say do. I let y'all get you drugs and run whatever illegal operation that you want to run. Well, you also have another problem when you have another cartel that knows that you are just a puppet for the other cartel. So what happens is now you still a target over here for the other cartel. You feel what I'm saying? Because they want you out and they want their people in, so they can have control over what you got control over, and that what you're in that area or whatever that you're letting your cartel run. The other cartel want that too. So you just fucked up. So you damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you say it's almost like you might as well not even run for office in Mexico, period, because you immediately gonna make enemies. Now you're gonna have a short-lived career. You're gonna have a little bit of money in a short amount of time, because you work for the cartel, so they're gonna pay you, whatever, whatever. But your life expectancy probably be about a good 10 years, maybe not even that goddamn long. It probably can go from 1 day to 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what's happening to these people. After I eat, I come up. Okay, um, it's a with more than 95% of the votes tallied, the preliminary counts, Miss Scheinbaum had a lead over 31 percentage points over Miss Galvez. I'm finna show y'all something. Yeah, she better get out of town. I don't challenge that. I wouldn't challenge her for real. Listen, I'm finna show you something. I'm gonna play this video from Value Entertainment. Let me tell you something. These guys right here, these guys very thorough. These are very professional, very thorough. The information that you get from these guys, I've been watching for a while because this guy used to be on the Young Turks. So if you watch what you hear from these guys, is going to be valuable information, going to be truthful information. Listen to what they said about the situation. God damn.
As much as 4.1% against the dollar, and the local stock market fell over 2% following the rule of Morena Party's strong election performance, raising fears of potential constitutional changes that could undermine checks and balances. The peso later trimmed its losses to 3.2% drop. Claudine Scheinbaum landslide presidential victory and Morena's gains surprised markets, with Chris Turner from ING noting concerns about Morena potentially pursuing market non-friendly policies of constitutional reform. Scheinbaum secured between 58.3 to 60.7 and 60.7 of the vote, and the highest Mexico majority history. Despite market jitters, Scheinbaum acceptance speech aimed to reassure markets by emphasizing a commitment to an autonomous central bank, maintaining the division between economic and political powers, and persevering a disciplined fiscal stance, as noted by JP Morgan. Ricky, what's going on with Mexico right now?
Oh, man, when I'm talking to people, as you guys know, 80% of my family's in Mexico. My dad lives in Mexico. When I'm a dual citizen, I'm a Mexican citizen, American citizen. And when you see things like that, basically what they're going through is they've had so many years of corruption with it used to be more of a two-party system, which is el PRI y el PAN, which is two-party system. Then they kind of started doing Morena, all this other stuff they started coming up with to break up the two-party system. And then what ended up happening was that AMLO, which is a current president, he's our version of a Bernie Sanders, ran for president two presidencies ago, lost. He says he got cheated out of his presidency. And by the way, 100%. When Enrique Peña Nieto and him were running, which was the last president, They took it from him, and they say they stole the election, which I believe in. Mexico, it's very, very much real. A lot of intimidation. They'll do care packages. Here it's illegal to do that in Mexico. At the voting booth, they'll do a care package, rice, soap, food, beans, and say,
They're serious.
"Oh yeah, of course you can look it up. I'm dead. You can look it up. They'll give you, and then I'll tell you who gave you this, Morena. Who gave you this, Morena? Who gave you Morena?" So they'll literally be at the voting booth. You give them a care package, and they're switching their vote.
Wow.
Yeah, this is not
My
like
rice is better.
yeah,
Damn.
exactly. Matter of fact, when the cartels want somebody voted in, they'll do the same thing. This is on behalf of so and so. This obviously is funded through them. But anyway, going back to this, it's a lot of people. I was getting 80%, 90% of the people saying, "Man, we're Mexico screwed." But then you have the victims, the crybabies. Oh, they do a lot for the people. It's like, no, you guys want to condemn the rich and give it to the poor like you guys are some goddamn Robin Hoods. And so my issue with her more than anything is you got to remember Mexico is a Catholic country. She doesn't have the beliefs. So first of all, her family got here in the 1920s, which that's fine. That doesn't give you. I'm here in America. I'm a first generation. My devotion is to America. But they got here in the 1920s. They're Jewish, and her parents were communists, open communists that actually fought hard in the rebellion, and they were involved in the scandal with the papers in Panama. So it's not like.
So you heard that. Her parents were communists. She's Jewish, and her parents are communists. Staunch communists. All right, let's keep going.
Lightweights, let's just voice our opinion. No, they're hardcore, and they raise her with these hardcore communist values. And so on top of that, she's a feminist. But just by the way, and I might probably get some heat for this. I really don't give a shit. I don't think any woman should be running any president. The temperament is not there. They're irrational. They don't think with the level head. But that's beside the point. So I understand people wanting to change from the PRI and the PAN and wanting to get away from it. I get it. It's like getting away from the Democrats and the Republicans go libertarian. I get it. But they went full commie with this one. So we got 6 years of a Bernie Sanders, and now we're getting 6 years of an AOC. So that's pretty much what it comes down to.
So Ricky, but so would you say that she was elected or selected because there was 37 candidates were assassinated just this year to get to this, right?
So you got to remember, AMLO was voted in. His campaign is Abrazos no balazos,
which stands for
hugs not bullets.
Oh, gotcha.
And so, matter of fact, when Chapo's son was captured in Culiacan, what was it, 4 or 5 years ago? They let him go.
They let him go.
Because
they're going to kill everybody.
Right. They were going to. Yeah, but the reality is, come on, bro. The Mexican guy, he's like, oh, I don't want to. He doesn't have any balls. What it comes down to. And so anyway, this is the group. This is the party that the cartels want because they're light on crime. And so it makes most. So they, ironically, the cartels support not so much communism more than somebody's going to leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
And so they're leaving them alone.
Wow.
That's what it comes down to. That's where we're at with them. The worrisome is, again, she's just an older version of an AOC. It's as bad as getting Joe Biden. It's like getting Bernie Sanders and you get an AOC. And the thing with them is their terms are 6 years and you can't get reelected.
Oh God.
So let me break down a little bit what he said. So the former president, not Ms. Scheinbaum, the former president was the same president that had caught El Chapo's son. Y'all don't remember a couple years back when they had El Chapo's son and they pinned him down and they had the gun battle, they had the shootout. And you remember they ended up letting El Chapo's son go. Well, the former president is the president that did that. He's also the president that is aligned with Ms. Scheinbaum. Ms. Scheinbaum and the former president are the same. They have the same policies. They're best friends. The reason why Ms. Scheinbaum is in the office right now is because they wanted Ms. Scheinbaum there. The cartels wanted Ms. Scheinbaum there. Everybody wanted Ms. Scheinbaum there because Ms. Scheinbaum is going to go along with the same policies that the former president had. The former president is the same president that caught El Chapo's son, remember, and let him go. You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Say seniors. So it's not 4 years, it's 6 years. So the country just got 12 years of just straight shit. Is what happened to them.
No good.
What does that happen? You have family there.
Yeah, of course.
What do they see in the economy? What do they see happening?
No, they don't like it because the same. It goes back to it's like if Bernie Sanders was running the country here. You can't build a bit. Even you talk to a taxi driver, they want to tax. You want to sell a taco, they'll tax it. They want you. They over-regulate. They want to control everything. They think people are. The thing about communists is that they think people are stupid. and they can't fend for themselves, so they have to fend for you. So all the crybaby, self-proclaimed victims love them because, oh, the government's going to help us. No, you think you're a goddamn idiot. And so that's what's happening with the economy. As a matter of fact, I sent messages yesterday to my people in Mexico because I have employees over there. How are you feeling? They're like, we hate it. You know, this is ridiculous. We can't work. We can't do this. We can't do that. And so, and a lot of people don't understand, like, oh, is it that bad? Well, you got to remember, at one point in time, Venezuela was a thriving economy. Mm-hmm. Look what happened when you got Maduro and Chavez. To think that it can't happen to Mexico is the most naive thing that you can think. It's stupid.
Hey, I agree with you too, Denise. This motherfucker, I've been thought about it. I just ain't said nothing. This motherfucker keep talking about Bernie Sanders. That lady, Bernie Sanders ain't like this motherfucking lady, nor the other motherfucking former president either. I'm glad you said that, Denise, because I was thinking the same goddamn thing. What the fuck you keep trying to compare Bernie Sanders to these tyrants, these gangsters?
Country that has let in socialism eventually opened the door for communism.
Venezuela is an oil country, a member of OPEC, and had a lot of money for the people in the country just coming out of the ground until it was corrupted back to the Stone Age.
Right. Well, because what happens is that, again, when you convince people you have their back, there's got to be a trade-off. If I'm giving you the power to help me, I'm giving you the power over everything. That's the trade-off with capitalism is like, I'm not going to help you, but I'm not going to get in your way. The trade-off with socialism and communism is I'll help you, but then I own everything you do come across. That's the problem. And so when you have, and one thing about, and I was telling this to a buddy of mine yesterday.
Hey, Tanel say he's a sexist, arrogant little man. I've heard him speaking about things before, and I don't like him. Listen, and I'm gonna say this too, not to classify, not to say all because I don't want to stereotype any one demographic of people. But I'm gonna say this. This was why it was so amazing to me that Mexico had a female president because I have met and worked and I have friends that are Mexican. You know what I mean? My former boss Mario Barajas is one of my closest buddies, and he is Mexican. You know what I mean? He's Mexican. He's not from Mexico. He's from Chicago, but his father, I know his father as well. His father is from Mexico. You know, we worked together for years. Um, Hung out after work, everything. Um, and I've been around a lot of Mexican people in the construction field. You know what I mean? A lot of Latino people, but definitely a lot of Mexicans. Um, the overwhelming majority of the ones that I have had interactions with, I'm not gonna say they sexist, but they goddamn show pro man. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just say it like that. They goddamn show women have a place and men have a place. That's what I'm gonna say. So it does not surprise me that this guy, he's Mexican. He's Mexican American, but he's Mexican. He was born in Mexico and he's got dual citizenship. Um, it doesn't surprise me that his views reflect views that I've seen before in certain um, Mexican men that I have had interaction with. Now I'm sure it's not all of them. I'm never gonna stereotype and say it's all of them. I'm sure it's not all of them, but I'm saying, and I'm not even saying my buddy Mario Barajas is like that either. He's not. But I'm saying I was just using him as an example to show you that I had a lot of interaction with Mexican people by me being a construction foreman for 6 years and working closely with them and I just noticed a lot of things, and the women can work their ass off too. I will say that. The women be right out there working with the men, and they do a lot of shit. You know what I mean? Like they more or less like the helpers. You know what I mean? But they work their asses off. They're strong. It's a strong working culture with the Mexican people. You know what I mean? I used to have to run them out of the job. To be honest with you, I was the foreman, and at nighttime it started getting dark. So I would have to close the job site down. You know what I mean? Like, which means I would have to go around the whole job site, which may be like 3, 4 fucking blocks, and I gotta run. I gotta go in every building that we're building. I gotta go up every flight of fucking stairs. I gotta go in every fucking room, and I gotta find the crew, the Mexican carpenters who are working, and they don't want to leave. I'm telling them, I'm like, listen, it's nighttime. It's going to be nighttime. We can't work at night. Like the job site has to close. We have to go home. Like they like, no, 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 no bueno, no bueno. This and it's no good because their boss had told them, hey, look, we work around the clock. You know what I mean? And I'm telling them that my boss is your boss man. Your boss subcontracted the job from us, and we're telling you per OSHA standards, per the standards that we got here on this job site. Y'all got to go home. You can come back in the morning at 7 o'clock when I be right here at this gate to open this gate for your ass to come back in here and work. But until then, you got to get up out of here, playboy. Man, listen, I used to have I used to cut. I used to the job closed. Let's say the job closed at 5 o'clock. I would start at 4. I would start running their ass out of there at 4 because they didn't want to go home. They wanted to work. As long as we would allow them to work, they would work 24 hours a day, goddammit. If it was up to the Mexican people, the building would have been built in 30 days. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you some real shit. I used to call my boss. I used to get mad. I say, man, y'all always got me up here trying to close the goddamn job down. But every time I try to close the job down, I got to argue with these people about leaving. They know we got to go by 5. And I be ready to go motherfucker go home. If I wait till 5 o'clock, I'm never gonna get up out this motherfucker. So I used to get my boss to call their boss. Hey man, look, call their motherfucking boss and threaten to kick their ass off this job if they don't get their ass up off this motherfucking job. Because I'm not gonna keep walking all through this sand up this goddamn sick. Ain't no elevators working. We building buildings, so ain't no elevators working. I got to motherfucking walk these 7, 8 motherfucking flights of stairs, come down them bitches, walk every floor, go to the next building that ain't finished, walk up them motherfuckers. Man, you got me fucked up, man. Y'all better use some of these goddamn phones. You know what I'm saying? For real. Or I'm finna lock these bitches inside this gate because I'm going home. I'm telling you. But yeah, so yeah.
Mexican people, Hispanic people in general, not just Mexicans, are very gullible. Anybody that's on TV that has some type of status automatically becomes believable. They're so gullible. There's no research. There's no nothing.
Such as who? Like Jorge Ramos.
Jorge Ramos, the priest. The priest can say. By the way, not to talk bad about it because but the Pope just made some 14-year-old kid, 15-year-old kid a saint.
Salute Aaron's way.
Fuck does that? You can't just make somebody a saint
or something, right?
No, he made him a saint because supposedly the kid died, whatever. They have him in a church that he made a miracle and saved 2 people. You can't make somebody a saint. But Hispanic people are so gullible that they'll eat all this shit up as something that's very going to benefit them when in reality they're shooting themselves in the foot.
Pull up the story I just gave you from.
Oh, there it is. You just saw it right there, Rob. You see this, Pat?
What's that?
They made him a saint. They made this kid a saint.
What does that mean? They made him a saint.
That because he doesn't. So in the Catholic religion, if you do miracles, all of them, you're a saint now.
Yeah.
They made this kid a saint. He's a saint.
So click on that one story that says 10 things you should know about Blessed Carlos. Yeah, zoom in a little bit, Rob Golor. Let's see what they say. Okay, so 1, he was born May 3rd, 1990. No, this is not the same guy then, because that guy would be 34, 33 years old.
Well, when he was
14, he became
15,
a saint.
Something like that.
Okay, Carlos was diagnosed with leukemia as a teenager. Before his death in 2000, he was offered his sufferings to Pope Benedict and for his church, saying, I offer all my sufferings to the Lord. And Pope church not to go purgatory, but to go straight to heaven. From young age, Carlos had a special love for God, even when his parents weren't especially devout. Next, go to number 4. Okay, so 4 is what? Carlos, witness of a child is a... Anyway, so this guy is apparently now a saint. We're talking. By the way, go to the article I sent you about Wall Street Journal, Rob. Go to that article. So this is what's interesting with what he's saying. And Ricky, I want you to unpack this. Tell me what this means on what this person is saying. So go to the Wall Street Journal article, Rob.
I'm blocked, so I have to find a different.
Really? You're blocked from Wall Street Journal?
Yes.
Man, they do not like.
How the fuck you get blocked from the Wall Street Journal?
The results, this is from Wall Street Journal. Title says Claudia Sheinbaum elected as Mexico's first female president. So now what does this mean? This guy named Antonio Ocaranza, a Mexican political analyst, said Mexico's new Congress will be sworn in a month before Lopez Obrador leaves power on October 1st, giving him leeway to pass the changes before Sheinbaum takes office. If I'm an investor, I'm thinking, by the way, my audio is going up and down. Are you guys hearing this or no?
My audio and my headphones went in and out.
I'm an investor. I'm thinking these guys just got a blank check. What's going to happen? Lopez Obrador wants to complete his agenda and take the political cost of these decisions while leaving Sheinbaum a blank slate to begin.
That's correct.
What does that mean?
It's almost the same thing. You remember when what was his name? Bukele from
Nayib
El Salvador,
Bukele.
Bukele,
Yes, Bukele.
he got the votes to change the constitution so he could get reelected.
Yeah.
It's the same shit. So because they have the majority right now, so Morena has a majority. So if you give this guy, if you have the majority, and you can start doing amendments or changing the Congress and changing the Constitution, then you're letting this lady Claudia do whatever she wants. So basically, he's going to open the door for her to make changes because he's going to be able to change the Constitution, and she's going to do she's going to do his bidding for him while she's in office. So that's the trade-off. It's just like in America. Hey, we're going to go behind you, but this is what you're going to do in return. And this has always been something known in Mexico as far as that. So what they want you to do is change things to go into a communist, socialist form of doing things. And changing the constitution would be detrimental to Mexico. Like it's, for example, like I'm a big fan of Bukele. And I don't think that what he did was right. Because what happens when a tyrant takes that? Now a tyrant's going to run from that. So in their mind, oh, I'm doing it for good. Yeah, but what happened, like we had Salinas de Gortari, which changed the evaluation of the Mexican dollar, peso. He literally made people from millionaires to broke because he changed the money, the currency. He changed it from 1 minute to the next, Salinas de Gortari. So he ended up going to Cuba. All his family left to Cuba to go run because they wanted to kill him. And they still want to kill him because he's still alive. So when you do things like what Obrador is doing, or AMLO, he's opened up the door for tyranny. But he's doing we're doing this for the people.
Tom, what are you thinking?
That's what's happening.
This is why the system that we have in the United States is so important. Congress and Senate. What happens whenever you hear the phrase coalition government, you say he's been elected prime minister and now he's going to go build the coalition government. Well, the coalition government often means, and this is exactly what Vinny just said. Let's say this happens, that we've got three parties: independents, Republicans, and Democrats. And the independents, let's just call them 20%. So the Republican wins, let's say 51%. If he gets the coalition with the independents and it gives him 70%, above 2/3, they don't even need to ask the Democrats to vote. They get to do whatever they want. And that is what's happened here.
They don't have to they can't filibuster.
Obrador has given her, he says, listen, I want these 5 things.
Mm-hmm.
You give me these 5 things. She says, okay, I'll give them to you. Okay, then I'll pledge my votes to you. And now he has over 66%, which is 2/3. At 70%, she can change the Constitution because he has given her the votes to do it. There's no more debate on the floor. When they say she has a blank check, she now has over 66% to go change it. That's a coalition government that is common in places not named the United States.
Damn. She finna change everything.
Yes, because living in Miami, I can't tell you how many immigrants, newcomers, as Joe Biden will call them, are from Latin America, South America, that are fleeing communism. We all know what happened with Cuba in the 80s and even beyond that. But the country that I've seen the most, all that, when Fidel came, but obviously the growth of Miami in the 80s. But the biggest growth that I've seen in Miami has been Venezuelans. I mean, they are fleeing like crazy. So now I'm wondering how much of the Mexicans are going to be fleeing. We're seeing the open border policy that Biden's put together. But the reason I've been paying attention to Mexico politics isn't so much of the election. We all know that half the world is voting in 2024. I think Modi just got reelected in India. Putin just got reelected out there in Russia, reelected. Joe Biden may or may not get reelected.
Putin's been president for what, 20-something, 24 years?
Yeah. So
that dude's a G.
I've been doing this research on like the ongoing wars in the world.
Yeah.
Because if you look at just mainstream media or college campuses, you just think there's one war and one war only, and that's the little thing going on in Gaza. But there's turns out to be wars going all over the world. But in the Western Hemisphere, Mexico is probably, other than Haiti, the bloodiest country out there.
Of course.
You know, they said that the most deadliest profession, the most dangerous job you can possibly in Mexico is running for office. Over 200 candidates, activists, or officials have been killed during this election season. 200. Imagine if 200 political officials or candidates were killed in America. Alarm bells would be going off right here.
You see that? He say over 200 been killed this election cycle. You see that? God damn, boy. Damn.
Insane.
Yeah, a lot of lead poisoning.
A lot of stuff going on there. But I'll say this. we're so used to 50-50 elections. This, all right, 48, 49, can we even get to 50%? It was a runaway in Mexico. It was 60-28. It was a blowout. Wasn't even close. So I'm not saying that I'm advocating for this person because she's, I think, a protege of your boy AMLO.
Yeah, but I want you to remember this.
But she blew this guy up.
I know, I understand, bro. But here's the thing, though. Here's what you don't understand. A lot of people that are not from Mexico won't understand. When you go to that voting booth, when you go to those voting booths, especially in the rural areas where that's a lot of the voting, whether you have cartel members right there. This is who you're gonna vote for. You're gonna die.
Literally.
No. It's no. It's
totally
not.
agree.
No. It's literal.
Yeah.
This is what you're going to do. So when you're saying, like, when they're blowouts like that, it's intimidation. Could you talk to anybody? Well, I don't say anybody because there's some idiots out there too, just like we have idiots here. But the majority of the people in Mexico be like, dude, AMLO's a piece of shit and everything. They can't stand them. But you know what I can't stand? You know how many of my family members in America voted for the Mexican election that live here? So you could go to the embassy and vote in America for that's bullshit. I'm like, they were doing the finger thing yesterday. You could vote in America for a Mexican government while you're not even living in Mexico.
Damn.
So there's a lot of that shit going on over here.
I wonder what America's role, since you're bringing this up, America's role in these free and fair elections here, because as of 2023, Mexico has now become USA's #1 trading partner. It was China, I believe.
It was China.
Thank God, not anymore China. But if you're the United States, if you're the government, the federal government, you see what the hell's going on with all these officials being killed. I mean,
yeah, but they're not going to cross borders to go and help those guys. Because you're just talking about people that are running for mayor, running for Congress. They don't like them. They just out their ass. And nobody's going to talk about it because if you open your mouth, you're dead. Matter of fact, if crime happens in Mexico, you're better off not calling the cops. That's what you're.
But it's crazy.
Imagine, honey, call the cops. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
It's scary. Not only is it the crime and the corruption, but it's now the communism. Because what countries in South America are even capitalist at this point? Argentina? Who else is out there? Bolsonaro, when he was running Brazil? Not anymore. Now they got Lulu.
Costa Rica, Belize, both have long been known to be like islands of democracy for some reason.
They just want nobody to pay. Like, they are scared for you to mention Costa Rica and Belize. I met a couple the other day in their 60s. Were you with? And I don't know if maybe you were with us. They're like, so where do you guys live? Oh, we live in Costa Rica. How long have you been there? 15 years. Please don't tell anybody. It's heaven. It's amazing. We love it there.
Really?
We don't want anybody to know. Business. We don't have a military. Low key. Great for business. Great for this. We feel very safe. It's a beautiful place. Don't advertise it. Guess what? We just advertise it right now.
Sorry.
So,
that's how I feel about Miami, by the way. There's nothing going on in Miami.
It's too late with Miami.
Nothing going on.
So if you're an angry patriot yourself, Vinny officially has the angry
All right, that's
patriot Valuetainment edition.
So did y'all hear that shit?
The Valuetainment logo with the.
Y'all hear that shit? Y'all heard that shit? So this is very important, y'all. It's very important because what we said is what's going on here, and we just BTM boys, Rashawn, Slime Life, Max, Denisha was rocking with us last night too. Couple more people that I may have forgotten. Sorry if I forgot your name. That was rocking with us last night in the chat when we were discussing Miss Sheinbaum, which is Mexico's first female president. It's what we thought it was. It's what we thought it was. They killed all of the other candidates, 37 of them, till they whittled it down to it was only 2 candidates left, Miss Sheinbaum and Miss Galvez. And Miss Sheinbaum won in a landslide. And they still killing people to this day. They killed a Mexican mayor today, a female. And they just keep on killing people, man. And they're going to keep on killing people. And they're going to keep on killing people until somebody stops. This is just what's going to happen. This is going to be a never-ending story. And the question I have is, if I know that the most dangerous job in Mexico is running for political office, why would I run? I assume these people are running because they're tired of being impoverished. You know what I'm saying? They're tired of being impoverished, and they figure, fuck it, I'm gonna work with one of these cartels, and I'm gonna get some money. And they taking the chance of making political office and being killed by the opposite opposing cartel or even your own cartel if you don't do what they say. But I think the poverty is at a level of such where people just rather take a chance. They'll take a chance. You know what I mean? They'll rather join the cartels and and take a chance that way than just to be live in poverty and be broke and still have to do what the cartels say do anyways. That's what I'm thinking. What's going on? No, I'm sorry, everyone. On their own, I'm not running. I ain't running. I swear I ain't running. Lord, the border's probably flooded for sure. I'm telling you. And I'm gonna say this as well. United States got some. Well, I ain't gonna. I'm gonna say. Like I said, it's correctly here. The United States knows what's going on. It took a couple of us 30 to 40 minutes last night to uncover this. So we know that most likely the United States know what's been going on. The United States knew what was going on after they killed the first two candidates. You know what I mean? And sat by and watched these people murder the rest of them. You know what I mean? And it does. And I'm gonna tell you this too. I gotta feel like the United States got some shit going on with this too. Let me tell you why. So if I am the United States, right, and I'm watching the Mexican elections, right, and I'm watching the Mexican elections, and I'm watching all of these candidates get murdered, right. So I know that the last candidate standing is the person that I'm gonna have to do business with. Um, it makes me believe that the United States is cool doing business with Miss Shinebaum. They don't care about the 37, 40, however many people, candidates that was murdered because they didn't want to deal with them anyway. And what I mean, deal, trade. You just heard the guy to say Mexico is becoming the United States first number one trade partner. It used to be China, but the United States and Mexico number one trade partners. What are we trading? What are we trading here? You know what I mean? Like, how could we? What could Mexico have, or what could we have that made Mexico jump China as our number one trade partner? That's interesting. That's very interesting because we all know the value of trading with China. The tech. You know what I mean? The tech, the minerals, the precious metals and shit that they need to make these cell phones, computers, technology. China's like the technology number one in technology. What the fuck, I'm not. I'm sure Mexico has a lot of resources, but I'm just saying, for them to jump China, it's interesting. It's very interesting. The U.S. definitely knows Biden supports this lady. I'm running the fuck out of there. Me too. For real, for real. Yeah, so I just wanted to throw that out in the ethos. You know what I mean? Biden called to congratulate all these folks corrupt. They know what's going on. For real, they do. They do. Please hit that like button. Please hit that like button. Please hit that like button. Please donate to the channel. I'm gonna say this too. So I'm gonna I'm gonna change lanes real quick here. Um we could come back and revisit this conversation. Tania, you come back if you whenever you're done, you want to come back. We can still come back and we can just recap everything we talked about. But these same gentlemen had a conversation about Diddy, and I want to play it for you because these guys was really thorough with their goddamn information. Like, we got it's a lot of information that we already heard, but how they summarized it, packaged it, put it together, and they actually showed where the information came from. And I liked it because shout out to Denise for the $10 super chat. I appreciate you. I like I want to play they video. These same guys, Value Entertainment. I want us to play their video on Diddy because it gave me the feeling like the information that they were giving was substantiated information. A lot of times when we hearing this stuff about Diddy or we hearing what's going on, we don't really know if it's like the rumor or in the window. But these guys, I like it. When I saw it, actually stumbled upon it because I was watching this video, and then once this video went off, the video about Diddy came on, and I was so interested, I just watched it, and I was like, "Shoot, I play this for the channel, and we can kind of, you know." revisit it because of course, there's a lot of Diddy content going on. So I'm gonna play their video on Diddy, and we'll go from there. What's going on, Diddy? Okay, well,
In the world, I read this story and I want to kind of get your thoughts on this here. So here's a story. Sean Diddy Combs' former bodyguard claims music mogul had tapes of politicians and princes out there. And we'll play this clip in a minute. Gene Deal, who was present the night before Notorious B.I.G. Biggie was fatally shot in 1997, made the sensational comments during an interview with Art of Dialogue YouTube channel. And here's what he had to say. Go for it, Rob.
Finding out he was recording everything.
But not only celebrities, I don't think it's only celebrities going to be shook. He had politicians in there. He had princes in there.
Uh-oh.
He also had a couple of preachers in there.
Oh, damn.
Is he talking about who I think he's talking about?
You think?
Is he?
Hallelujah.
Cat Williams commented on that.
Now, Williams definitely brought him
On
on.
a preacher.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what preacher that is?
I don't.
Okay. You don't know the preacher that was
I'll
seen
say
with Diddy at one of the parties that Cat Williams says, I don't care whether you're TD Jakes or Diddy.
Oh, yeah.
So-
he goes, the truth is coming out in 2024.
Listen, again, this
Yeah.
is allegedly. That's
what
what
they're
he's saying. Your thoughts on this story here?
So it wasn't just this guy that was saying it. Lil Rod, the former producer, filed the lawsuit, and he said every room in Diddy's mansions were wired with cameras. And he had some of the footage, he had some of the pictures, and he displayed those in the lawsuit that came out. And this was used for blackmail material. They bring in these people. A lot of these people were also aspiring young artists in the music industry. And then these parties were sponsored by Motown Records CEO, Universal Records CEO. This goes all the way to the top. And so you get these people in compromising situations. The drinks were laced, the videotapes were hot. And then at the end of the day, you wake up the next morning, what did I do? And then they have compromising material on you. And then they can guide your career.
did y'all hear that? He said they get these people in these parties. He said these parties are sponsored by the whole record company and the higher ups. They get these people in compromising situations. You see that? He say the cameras, the mics are hot, the cameras are on. He say the drinks are spiked. Now I'm just trying to show you how this shit would be tied into the record companies or higher ups. Cause in Little Rod's lawsuit, he put Lucian Grains in there as a co-conspirator, as somebody that they were suing. He said that Lucian Grains and Diddy was running an X trafficking, to my ring. Now, just put it all together, right? Diddy throwing a party. The party is sponsored by Universal Music Group, or Leo Cohen, or what I mean, Clive Davis, all of these people, right? They got cameras in every room. You a new artist, politician, whoever, somebody they want to get some dirt on. They spike the drinks. They got scrippers in there. They got you know, escorts, male escorts in there. Whatever your flavor. If you want some little J shit, they got it for you, right? Now imagine they got underage ones in there for you, but you don't know they underage. They got them in there for you though. So you getting tipsy. Diddy doing his PT Barnum thing. He putting on a show. He got his robe on. He got his champagne bottle. He got his top hat on. He just, yeah, enjoy yourself. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Telling everybody act bad, act bad, act bad. You started drinking out the champagne bottle because you in there with all these famous people and Diddy and all of this and that. Then you get more and more fucked up because he got goddamn Molly in the champagne. He got goddamn ecstasy in the champagne. He got all that shit going on, and you getting lit and litter. Then you got the most beautiful woman that you ever seen in your life. She all on it. She talking about let's go to the room. You know what I'm saying? But little do you know, this woman is 16 years old. God damn it. You know what I'm saying? Or you got this, or you might like what little Jay like, and you got this Fabio looking motherfucker talking about let's go to the room, and you just falling weak for it, and you just, woo. So that's what you want, and you go off in that bitch, and there it is. You know what I'm saying? You have the night of your life. You just, I'm on a pursuit of happiness, and you know what I'm saying? That movie, what is it, Project X? When they dropped that goddamn gnome and all the ecstasy flew everywhere, remember them kids at the house party, and they dropped that goddamn, they found out that gnome, little gnome man had all them ecstasy pills in that bitch. And then they started playing that Kid Cudi. They fucked around, that little gnome opened up, and that X went everywhere. And the whole party just slowed down, and they started playing that goddamn Kid Cudi. I'm on a pursuit of happiness, and everything is gonna be done, it's gonna be gold. If it's really right, I'll be getting it in. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, and that's what happened. And I'm just saying, this is the setup. This is the setup. Now, do you see how this could tie into some bigger people? Let's keep going.
They could kill your career, but they got you. And it wasn't just people in the music business. As you said, there were athletes, there were celebrities, there were politicians, people from the royal family. And we were also told by the former bodyguard that Diddy was an FBI informant. So he was a snitch and was feeding information to the feds. And we don't know what that means. We haven't been able to confirm it. But even Little Rod said it's not just like Epstein. It could be worse than Jeffrey Epstein.
Now, let me ask you this: when you're seeing something like that, do you think, you know how somebody is making money for you, you can't lose them because they're still making money for you, right? So, for example, like an athlete, LeBron James, he's still getting a lot of endorsements, he's still making a lot of money. You got to make sure you protect that asset because that guy's making you a lot of money. I think the number one person right now that you have to protect in music is Taylor Swift. You have to protect her. It's a big insurance policy. She's young. She's going to be around for a long time to come. The concerts, the money making, the $5 billion, the tours, all that stuff. Nothing can go wrong with her because if God forbid something happens, you're making money off of it.
You don't take Taylor to a Diddy party.
Oh, yeah.
You don't go anywhere near a freak off party.
That's right. So here's where I'm going with this. Do you think Diddy's at a phase that, how do you make money off Diddy today? Because what's Diddy doing today? He's not performing. So is it more that you protect Diddy because the people that he knows that he can destroy their lives, that you kind of like have to keep him quiet? Or do you have to find a way to eliminate him, kind of like they try to eliminate this guy named Jeffrey?
I don't know if he was being eliminated by the FBI or even by the Universal Records executives. What happened was Cassie filed this lawsuit. He settled in about 48 hours.
Very fast.
So then everybody goes, oh, what? Did he settling?
Yeah. Yeah.
So everybody starts filing. And so Lil Rod files some real graphic, nasty stuff. We're talking minors, sex trafficking, ecstasy and the alcohol. And then all hell blows loose. And that's when the feds come in and raid. And they go right to the camera system and pull all the servers out. And they, I believe, arrested the drug mule. And so they're closing in. They're going to build a case. And look, is this something that's coming down at the highest level? I have no idea, but I know Diddy's life is about to blow up, and there's really no way to get out of this.
And I want to say this, and Vinny, I want to go to you because Ashton Kutcher is seen as he prepares to be subpoenaed on Diddy's case. That's one. Next one, Sean Diddy Combs' ex Cassie, that he paid off, I think $30 million, whatever the number is, cooperating with federal investigations amid the sex trafficking probe.
That's bad.
That's very bad,
that's
right?
Bad.
So next one, Sean Diddy Combs still continues carefree in Miami. This is a story from yesterday. Lifestyle by smoking and drinking after federal raids.
To them say, so if the dealer is an informant, what didn't Diddy do to piss them off and come after him? I don't know, T. This is why, we've been dibbling and dabbling around this. We done talked about this here on this channel. But I found it interesting to find that these guys who are they got some credibility to them. They ain't just no tabloid type journalists. I've seen this. I've watched this guy on the Young Turks for years, and when you see them talking about these type of topics, you know, in the way they talking about it, you know, they've done their due diligence. They've double checked and vetted their information, and for them to even be down the rabbit hole, they're down the rabbit hole too. They talking about the higher ups set them up. They're talking about you know, they don't have no, maybe the higher ups don't have no more use for Diddy or some, you know what I mean, they down the rabbit hole too. So you know, we've been down the rabbit hole, but I think it was a consensus that this Diddy's case, uh, going down the rabbit hole was where we had to go in order to find out the truth. Like this was not a witch hunt. This was not uh conspiracy theory. I think everybody understood that in order to get the truth in the Diddy situation, we going down this hole because we know the truth lies down. We know the truth lies down these holes. We know the truth lies down here where normally conspiracy theory reigns supreme. Nah, it ain't no conspiracy theory down here. Down here is this is where this story, uh the truth lies in this story. We know Diddy recorded people for blackmail. We know Diddy um had politicians. You heard it say princes. It makes me think of that prince that they caught over there on that Epstein flight log. I forgot what his name was, but when I did the Epstein flight log on Juicy Rooms with Marita Boy, I called the prince's name. But yeah, make me think about that prince. But I can't think of his name right off the top of my head. But um, it looks like this is what's going on here. Like more so, like I'm talking about, like more so than we've ever seen before. Like even with the Epstein situation, that was an eye opener because we had the flight logs and we knew how many people had been over to Epstein's island, but we still didn't really get no closure because Epstein, you know, was allegedly unalived himself. But we still didn't get no closure. We still didn't get no finality. The most we got was we got his brother telling us what Stephen Hawkins' uh, quote unquote fetish was um, over there at the island. But we never figured out what any of these celebrities or politicians was doing over there. So that in itself kept a little bit of like doubt as to what could be going on. But with the Diddy situation, um, it looks like we're gonna get some type of finality to it, some closure to it, some more information. We're gonna be able to know what whoever these people were on these tapes, or some of the people that was on these tapes. We're gonna be able to know what they were doing there, and it's probably gonna come from Diddy telling himself, telling us what they did. You know what I'm saying? So you know, this is interesting, and I know we done heard a lot of this, but I just want to make sure that we all understand that this what is conspiracy theory involving this Diddy case, and what we can pretty much bank on as fact, and then we can go on forward that we can go forward down the rabbit hole because this is we in the rabbit hole now, and you can bet your ass we gonna continue to go down this rabbit hole, especially if they indict him, which it looked like it's gonna happen, and especially if he decide to go to telling, which it looked like it's probably gonna happen. So we gonna see what goes on here.
Sean Diddy Combs' youngest son, Christian King, 25, is now sued. So it's like it isn't one thing, it's another thing constantly popping up. Anyway,
But just from my point of view, though, he's in Miami. He's riding bikes. He's taking photos. He seems as if he doesn't have a care in the world. To me, somebody from the outside looking in, it seems like they were like, hey, listen, especially with the Cassie thing, that thing blew the top off of everything. We have to go in there. You don't be there. We're going to make the play. We're going to grab all the footage and everything. I think people are going to fall. Nothing is going to happen to him. He's going to be protected. But they've been using Diddy for how long, Jesse? From the politicians, from Maxine Waters?
So back in 2004, he launched Vote or Die.
Yep.
So he was for Kerry. Then he was for Obama.
Yep.
Then it was for Hillary. And then he's for Biden. So he has been the community organizer for the Democratic Party in the streets for about 20 years. He's a valuable asset.
Big time. And they gave, like, he started Revolt through
Maxine
Waters.
gave him a cut in order for that merger to go through. She said, my guy has to get a piece of the pie.
So if you think about it, he's obviously in with these higher up politicians. You're in there recording all these people and having all this dirt, like they say with Epstein was working for Mossad, or God knows who he was working for. Who knows who Diddy was, like, he's not recording all these people, all these princes, just to have like footage for when he's older to show to his kids. This is a coordinated thing, and I think the Cassie thing blew the top off. And now they're like, we have to go in and make sure nothing is incriminating for us, or else he does.
Right, because when they went in and raided Epstein's mansions, we never saw any of that footage.
Not 1 minute.
Only Ghislaine Maxwell went down.
Bingo.
They never got anybody else, and he had tapes in Little St. James. He had tapes in the Upper East Side. He had tapes in New Mexico and Palm Beach. We never heard anything else about that.
Exactly.
Jesse, you said something a little bit earlier that I was like, whoa, because he's been called the Black Epstein.
I want to say this too. I met Maxine Waters quite a few times. So I told you I was a construction foreman, and my company built the VA hospital in Lake Nona, Florida. It was like a $500-600 million job, and I was the youngest black foreman. There actually was only 2 black foremen on that job. I was the youngest black foreman of a $4 billion company, and I was the fastest foreman. I was the fastest person to make foreman. I made foreman in 6 months. Started on the broom, made foreman in 6 months. Yeah, that's your boy Marita. He did that. And Maxine Waters used to come through because of course she was a politician. You know what I mean? So she would come through and she would inspect what we was doing and seeing how far along, because that job had a lot of delays. It was a big scandal about that job, and it had a lot of delays. But I met Maxine quite a few times as she came through the VA, because I worked there for years. It took years to build, so I worked there for years, and I met Maxine quite a few times as she came through, and she remembered me because of course I was one of the only black foremans there. Like, it was only 2 black, 3. It was me, Roy, and Danny. It was 3 black foremans, but I was the youngest one. I was around like 30 at the time. And yeah, so I stuck out to her, whatever, dreads, shit like that. So yeah, I met Maxine.
You said earlier that this could even be worse than Epstein.
Damn, they call Diddy Black Epstein. I ain't know that. That's a nice little ring to it. That's what I need to call his ass, Black Epstein.
Feel about that? Like, that's a pretty shocking statement.
That's what Lil Rod alleges in the lawsuit.
Well, you've covered this. How do you stand up?
I don't know if he's talking about the violence towards women, or the age or the age factor of the minors, or the drug factor. Epstein, there was not a lot of drugs. This case has drugs.
Yeah.
This case has lots of narcotics. If you read the filings, we're talking meth, cocaine, PCP, ecstasy.
The stuff in the drink to make you pass out so you don't remember whatever that.
Hey, do me a favor, y'all. Please donate to the channel. Please donate to the channel. I'm finna put the Cash App up there. I could show y'all. I should show y'all my YouTube studio. I swear to God, like, I'm not getting paid. Like, real talk. That one video I did about Drake, I told y'all that wasn't gonna get monetized, and I swear that bitch say ineligible. I swear, but I knew it. I knew it before I did it. But you guys did. I think you guys did send me Cash App for that video, so I appreciate it, because I didn't get paid a dime. Like, that bitch is in red. But please donate to the channel. Please donate to the channel. The Cash App is right there along the bottom. You'll see the right there, Cash App, Marita boy. You see the little red little thing right there, the little red little ticker. You know what I mean? Please, cause your boy ain't getting paid. I promise you. I promise you. I'm gonna show y'all the YouTube studio so y'all know your boy don't be capping. But yeah, your boy is not getting paid. I swear. The only money I make is off the kindness of you gentle, kind strangers. Well, y'all ain't strangers. Y'all my peoples. You know what I'm saying? But the kindness of you guys, I promise y'all.
Hangover.
Yeah, everybody was getting roofing. Apparently, everybody. There was even conversations of. I just saw another video where Diddy is giving a drink to Justin Bieber, and we keep seeing videos with him and Justin Bieber, and like they're making sure that Justin Bieber's drinking it. And there's another cut of him in the party, and Justin Bieber just looks like a little bit.
What
off.
age was he at the time?
does it really matter at that point? Justin Bieber's now just, I mean, he was young with blonde hair. Like he was like, what, 17, 18?
Did you see this video?
Yo,
Watch him pat him down.
Look, this is
checking
recently.
for potential.
Look, he's touching
wires.
He's touching his chest. He's touching his chest. Make sure you don't have a wire on you. Look
So
at that.
I got a message. Weird. I'm trying to see. I'm not going to reveal the source, but I got a message from a guy saying that some of this has to do with that drink company, the
Diageo.
Diageo. That is, if you look at, can you type in what Diageo's market cap is?
They're
Pull up,
massive.
Type in Diageo market cap.
Right.
Yeah, right there. If you just type in Diageo market cap, $81 billion. And what this insider said to me, just purely on what could happen, is given. I'm not giving a source. It
Speculation.
Could be speculation. He said they owe him $2 billion. And he said it could be the fact that they are doing this to not have to pay him $2 billion. Now, can you just type in, Diageo owes Diddy $2 billion. See if anything like that comes up. Diageo.
We're going down the rabbit hole. This might be the answer to your question, Tennille. And I'm gonna say this too: if a company's worth $81 billion, oh, you bet your sweet ass they got politicians, governors, presidents. They got a lot of people in the motherfucking pocket. $81 billion. That's more money than some countries are worth. Oh yeah.
$2 billion. Go to news. Can you go just to news at the top? Let's see what stories pop up. Can you go a little? Okay. Diddy Diageo and the climb Sean Combs' business empire. Sean Diddy Combs dumped by Diageo maker of Johnny Walker.
Diddy sues.
Sean Diddy and Combs and Diageo settle withdrawal lawsuit in case of Diageo of racism. Okay. So there's something that's going on there that is, kind of ugly. And obviously the people that are saying that, they're supporters of him. So they're kind of like saying there's something going on that you guys are not seeing, right? It's another thing that you got to consider. What do you know about that?
I've seen litigation between those two, and there's a racial charge there as well. And if they've settled, and I also heard Diddy double cross them. So I don't really know what's going on at that level, but I do know that you said you don't think Diddy's going down. I disagree.
And why do you think that?
And I think if you have the feds go in there and seize everything in the house, phones, electronics, video cameras, and he has multiple civil suits in play, do you think Universal Records is going to take the fall? I don't think Universal Records is going to.
Do you think lesser players are? Because just think about the day that they raided, he wasn't there, and his jet flew with God knows what. He wasn't on it to a place that doesn't have any U.S. extradition. Maybe all the tapes and everything that was just like a delivery method. Because why else is he dancing and having a great time in the streets? He's not delusional.
Because it's great PR.
Yep. Well, let me ask you this. Here's a question for all of you guys. Here's a question for but Rob, can you run a poll on this? Who was more powerful and feared? Harvey Weinstein or Diddy? Put the poll. I'm curious to know what the audience will say. Again, hear me out. It's a very important question. Okay, think about this one before we answer. Process it.
Go ahead.
Harvey Weinstein. Yep. One of the top 4 Godfathers, Hollywood controlled, huge, all of that stuff, the amount of power he had. And he was not a visible guy. He's a behind the closed door guy. Yep. Clintons, presidents, all that stuff. Or Diddy, music, hip hop, links of Biggie's death, Tupac's death, what he's done with all these girls, J-Lo, all these names that are tied to him. Who is a bigger man to fall?
To fall, you said to fear.
No. Fear and fall, meaning like which one can that industry not afford to fall that they have to protect?
I think Diddy because of all because Weinstein was
Diddy over Weinstein.
Because I think Weinstein was movies and that, but Diddy now we're seeing was politics, presidents, musicians, elites. I think Diddy.
I think it's close. I think it's Weinstein, man. This guy,
Hollywood,
bro.
What do you think?
The fear is. I think
there's a big difference in Hollywood.
Did he have anybody murdered? Did he have anybody killed? Did he allegedly had not only 2 guys murdered, he's shooting people?
You know what the purpose of this question is? Who is more untouchable? Weinstein or Diddy?
Well, obviously,
I thought Weinstein was untouchable until he wasn't.
Yeah,
that's the point.
Yeah.
So the point he's making when he's asking you the question to say, do you really think he's not going to go down and he's protected? And he said, yes, he is protected. Okay. I have Bernard Carrick at the house. We're having lunch yesterday or 2 days ago, right?
Bernie.
And so I said, so in New York, for the longest time, when you watch these movies, right? Mobster, great movie, the old Mobster movie, where it's the story of Lucky and Meyer Lansky and Frank and Ben Siegel and all this stuff. Phenomenal. If you want to know the history of mob, that's the movie to watch. A beautiful movie filled with a lot of facts on what happened. Nobody ever thought that the mob was going to fall. Nobody ever thought. They thought it were the Untouchables. There's a movie, I think, called The Untouchables, right?
Yeah,
or Chicago,
called the movie Untouchables.
Kevin Costner.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and then the day the 240 whatever guys are walking out like this and just going on and saying, wait a minute, how many judges did they have? How many cops did they pay off? How many guys in politics did they have? And nobody thought anything was going to happen to them. Do you think something like that it's about to happen where you see a bunch of these music industry, Hollywood moguls coming out like that? Like you think it's going to be that ugly? You think it's going to be more like, because look, Harvey Weinstein, have you seen his latest pictures? What he looks like? He went from the powerful guy, sitting there like this and having
like
hard
wheelchair.
What do you think?
I think you're never going to see a guy like Universal Records CEO or a Motown Records CEO go down. Those guys are executives. They're well connected. They're going to make Diddy take the fall. And
you think so?
Because there can always be another Diddy. Someone else will pop up and do the same thing. This was a widespread operation. It was a racketeering conspiracy where these record companies would then sponsor these parties, hand Diddy loads of cash that he used for the drugs, the trafficking, and this was all videotaped. And then they would profit from these young people that came up in the business that were at these parties. They took them to the studios, they signed them to labels, and then they used them to make money. And this was a grand scheme. If the feds want to go all the way up the food chain on it, they can go as high as they want. But something tells me they're going to suppress it and have one guy take the fall.
Do you guys, sorry, Tom, do you guys think that which one's more like more probable? Him going to jail and getting in trouble for it, or something, God forbid, happening where he kills himself because he can't take it like Epstein? Which one, Adam? What do you think? You think Diddy's going to go behind bars?
He's too much of a narcissist to kill himself.
What I'm saying, I'm being facetious. Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself. Let's just use the word allegedly around our friend Jesse. You know what? No, this is Vincent O'Shannon's belief. I'm not stupid. What I'm saying is, what do you jail or
so? I line up with Jesse. I went to school at Pepperdine with a guy who became an auditor, and he was an auditor at that time with a company called Touche Ross. And the record industry is the largest long-term racketeering organization in human history. You go back to, he never lost an audit case. He would find out that they were pressing records in the Philippines when they were only supposed to be pressing records in Mexico and the US. He represented a hair band called Poison. They found an extra 500,000 albums over 5 years that were pressed other ways and sold. How did you audit it? The record industry, from the cocaine controversies where they were paying off disc jockeys to get airplay, the record industry has been the largest racketeering organization, and it does not surprise me. And I agree with you, Jesse. None of those executives are going to go down. None of them. If you talk about Weinstein and Diddy, is Diddy more feared because of the groups and the things that are going around? I think he was feared, but I really thought nobody was as untouchable as Harvey Weinstein. I did not think that guy was going to get touched. I thought he was going to get retired. I didn't think he was going to, that these suits were going to do it.
What is especially when they split it. When
they split it into LA and New York and they tried him twice and they put him away forever, I was really shocked that everybody turned and he fell.
What does a poll look like, Rob? What is it?
Right now, 65% say Harvey Weinstein, 35% for Diddy.
What's the size of the vote?
2,091 votes.
2,091. They're saying 65% Weinstein was more untouchable?
Correct.
Than Diddy. Wow. Interesting on what the market is saying about that. So the only reason I bring that case study is to see if he can fall in the last, 8 years? I don't know what the timeline is. Is it fair to say about 8 or 10 years?
Correct.
If he can fall, you don't think Diddy can? The only difference between the two is, because you have to also know that Weinstein's probably got a lot of dirt on a lot of other people.
Yep.
So the fear of him falling, is he going to, like the crab theory, where one crab is trying to get out of the others try to pull him down?
Yeah.
Well, did he be the type that, if God forbid he is going to...
He gets arrested. He gets arrested, Jesse. Let's say, okay, sure, you guys are right. He gets arrested. He goes in. They're like, listen, you're going to stay in here for the rest of your life. No money's going to get you out. Who had you recorded? Who'd you give those record? Who was on them? Who told you to do it?
So Diddy's guy, Stevie J, who's all wired into this thing, came out
in Miami
the other day and put out this video and this post and said, Diddy partied with everybody and put out a video with Kevin Hart was in it. Kanye was in the video.
Yeah.
Basically the biggest A-list celebrities you can see. And he's basically saying, hey, you know you were at my house. I know you were at my house. If I'm going down, everybody's going down.
Right.
And even his bodyguard said he'd testify. He goes, I'm not going to take the fall for Diddy. If
Well,
I'm called, I'll testify.
I'd like to find out how deep this goes in the hip hop music industry. So you talk about Stevie J. I don't know how familiar with him. There's a party in Miami every Sunday. It's been the biggest hip hop party in the world at Live, #1 club in the country. It's called Live on Sundays. And the DJ host is Stevie J. Diddy's there, DJ Khaled's there, Rick Ross is there, every Sunday. And they have pre-parties and they have post-parties. And I want to know how many of these people are going to speak. Because all these parties, all these stories, it's not just exclusive to Diddy. I want to know where they're all going to start.
Yeah, but here's my question to you, though. Would you speak if you were like you said, everybody, we know all y'all were there. And like he said, if there's allegedly cameras everywhere, what are you going to say? They have you on camera. Well, oh, by the way, that young girl that everybody was talking to, that 17-year-old, yeah, you were with her. Oh, shit. What are they going to talk about?
That's the Epstein plane.
That's you open your mouth, and guess what? That footage is going to come out. So who knows where that plane went
That's what
and
I'm
what
saying.
was on.
So what I'm asking is it if one goes, is it going to be the mob style where 62 people are being raided all of a sudden? Is it going to be, hey, a bunch of guys are getting calls, a bunch of guys are being investigated? Like, remember when in New York when they said you have whatever this was, the timeline, in the next 90 days, if anything, then Jamie Foxx was there, then even the mayor, Mayor Adams was a part of it, and a bunch of other guys, and then boom, it shut down. Do you remember that? When the whole, everybody was trying to get somebody.
Oh, yeah, the case of the what was it, Tom? It was like a certain amount of
statutory. They changed it to like 20 years.
And everybody's like, he raped me,
and all the women ran to the courthouse.
Right. So what if all of a sudden now, because this is the next phase we don't know about. So think about it. If all of a sudden 30 girls come out to 30 other celebrities that were at the party.
Oh my God.
And now they get linked back to those parties. That's the next thing that you're sitting around saying, oh, shoot, what just happened now?
Oh, God.
Because every day, this is not, how many people you think are sitting down and say, dude, I hope this thing goes away. I hope this thing goes away. I hope this thing goes away.
Everybody that was there.
It's the same thing they did with Epstein.
That's what I'm saying.
The same thing. And then you find out Bill Gates is at the Epstein place. All these other people are.
And that's why his wife left him, because she couldn't deal with that.
And if we learned anything from Epstein, this story's not going away.
Yeah, there's one more angle here. Jesse, what is the news media hearing on the Diddy FBI long-term informant side? There's a lot of stuff below the surface.
We've only heard that one comment from Kanye, who said he was a Fed. And then we heard it from the former bodyguard who said he was informing to the FBI. Other than that, we don't have a lot of information and we can't nail that down. But according to that Lil Rod lawsuit too, he witnessed Diddy going in his closet in his bedroom and pulling out guns and giving it to a bunch of guys that were wearing all black.
Jeez.
It was also an allegation that he had the local sheriffs paid off. It was an allegation that he had contacts with local gang members in Los Angeles. I don't know what that means, but it looks like Diddy's playing both sides.
Is this Kanye?
Rob, if you can play that clip. Yeah, if you can play
Sure
this
does.
clip,
I'm
I
not
just
sure if
texted
this
to
is
you.
the right one.
Okay, but you're saying that Kanye was the one that said he was
Kanye said he was a Fed.
He said Kanye.
And the former bodyguard said it.
And I heard
when was this video? Was it? Is there
This was a while ago. Go ahead,
Okay.
Rob, just play.
I have the address to my child. None of these niggas that want to say something
Travis
now.
gave you the address, though, right?
Travis gave me the address.
Right.
But as far as Meek Mills, Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these niggas. All you fake hard niggas, fuck you. Hold on.
Okay.
All you fake hard niggas, fuck you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck because you can't shoot nobody anyway. And the reason why you got talks because you did a deal, you fucking fed.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to come at me, because part of the deal for you to be able to do all that and get out of jail is that you promise that you're going to go pull my co-car. So y'all niggas shut the fuck up about me. Now let me say it calm. You niggas shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up about
how much credibility does this guy have?
No, but hold on. But you know
zero, maybe?
You know what he's saying, though? If you make a deal with the feds, you could go out there and shoot and get arrested, but then you get to get out way more leniency because you're working for them. That whole rapper image.
I think there's an angle here, and I think it hasn't been seen yet, because there's a lot that goes in. Is like, why has Maxwell been sitting in prison? Why hasn't the list come out? What happened to Epstein? Was Epstein really Mossad? There's a lot back there that seems a lot of smoke and maybe a lot of fire. You just have to look at the history of informants and do a little research, and there's patterns here. Manuel Noriega, CIA informant from 1950 to 1980 for the CIA, president of Panama. He goes sideways, kills his, Spatafora, kills Spatafora, gets Barletta, the president, to resign. George Bush Sr., previously CIA, says, hey, our informants out of control. What should we do? We need to liberate the people of Panama. It was the largest American military action since the Vietnam War. 27,000 military went down, extracted and put them on trial in Miami and put them in a U.S. prison. That's a good way to make your informant set up.
Jesse,
I think there's shadows here of this. I think there's shadows coming.
Go ahead, Jesse.
Yeah, it could. So that is one pattern. If you look at the case in New York with the nightclub shooting, where his protege Shine took the case instead of Diddy. Diddy allegedly had J-Lo smuggle that pistol into the club, and that was cleaned up. He was never charged for it. Shine took it. And then you have the other allegation where there was a shooting in a bathroom at a Diddy recording studio, blood everywhere. That was in the lawsuit. We saw the photographs, and police came in, cleaned it up. Diddy said it was a drive-by. Guy bled out in the bathroom. No charges again. So that's a pattern of very favorable treatment by law enforcement. It just makes you a little suspicious. That's all.
And that's a fair thing to be suspicious about, right? When you see something like that. For the people that are...
I want to say this too. They're saying J-Lo has been subpoenaed to testify in front of the grand jury as well. And I'm sure they're going to ask her about that incident that happened in the New York nightclub where the lady was shot in the face, and Shine eventually ended up taking the fall for the whole situation.
In the podcast today who want a signed copy of this book, there's 3. Here's what we're doing. Anybody who goes on vtmerch.com and places an order for $50 or more, a minimum.
If you read the filings.
All right. Please donate to the channel. What I'm finna do, y'all, I'm gonna end this live and I'm gonna come back later on and do another live. I got a couple more topics I want to talk about. I want to visit Chicago. There's a couple things going on in Chicago that I want to talk about. But I want to put them in their own video. This video was really meant to highlight what's going on in Mexico and the murders and the things that have happened in order for Mexico to get to the point to where they have this first female Mexican president. And I wanted to we wanted to tear the veil back and show you really what was going on here. Because they're trying to push this to you in the guise of we have the first female president, sort of like how we did with we have the first female vice president. Yeah, that's all well and good. Kudos, congratulations. But the difference is in Mexico, 37 candidates had to lose their life for us to get to the point to where Mexico got the first female president. It was only 2 candidates left standing. Everybody else had been murdered. They say it's over 200 people that's been murdered if you count people that aren't candidates, like staff and other politicians and things of that nature. But as far as just candidates, that's just people whose name was on the ballot. 37 people was murdered. Only 2 people that weren't murdered, and that's the lady who won, Miss Scheinbaum, and the lady named another lady named Ms. Galvez. And just today we had another Mexican mayor was murdered, and she was murdered today. I forgot what her name was, but she was murdered today as well. So we just unearthing the cartels are behind Ms. Scheinbaum being elected as the Mexican president. There's no doubt in our mind. This is pretty much what it looks like. If you missed last night's live, go back and check last night's live out, and then start from there, and then watch this live, because it's a continuation. The end of last night's live and the start of today's live is a continuation of our investigation here into Ms. Scheinbaum, the first female president of Mexico. And trust me, it is very interesting. She in my opinion, is corrupt. In my opinion, it's just my opinion. From what I see, you know what I mean. She's corrupt. You know what I mean. So, shout out to Tania Bowens. Shout out to Miss T. Uh, for her investigative journalism that got us to this place where we discovered that it was that many people that had been murdered while this campaign had been going on, because I didn't know it. But Tennille, she found it. So shout out to Mr. Neil Boynes for investigative journalism. Shout out to Slime Like Max for riding with us last night while we were doing this digging. Shout out to Vashawn. Couple more y'all, Denise, couple more y'all that was in here with us, burning the midnight oil, getting to the bottom of Miss Shinebaum's presidency. And thank you for rocking with us so we could and so we could bring this to the people. I mean, I feel very good about the job that we did between last night and tonight. We uncovered something. I'm sure. I mean, of course, other people knew about it, but I'm saying here in this sector, here at this sector on YouTube, I'm pretty sure we're the only people talking about this. You know what I mean? We're the only people talking about this, and we did our due diligence to enlighten our fellow um, you know what I mean, Americans, YouTubers, people who right here in this sector on what's going on. Hopefully some of them will pick this story up and run with it too. You know what I'm saying? Because the more people are aware of these situations, we do need to be educated on the things that go on around us, the things that go on in politics and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So I feel really good about that story. I feel like we did bring something to the to the to the to the blogging game. You know what I mean? And I appreciate all y'all. Shout out to Anonymous Ones. Anonymous Ones was rocking with us too. Yeah, she don't play. Yeah. She 37 people got murdered for her to be the got their first female Mexican president. Yeah, she right in there with Griselda. But I'm gonna end this live. Please donate to the channel, y'all. Please donate to the channel. It don't matter $1, $2, $3, $4, $5. It don't matter. I'm not getting paid off YouTube currently right now. The only money that I make off YouTube is like the kindness of from the kindness of you people, and I appreciate that. I promise you. And it doesn't matter. Anything that you donate is is appreciated. I don't give a damn if it's a dollar. I feel the same as if it's a dollar, if it's $100. You know what I mean? Because I appreciate it. Because you guys gave it out the kindness of your heart. And like I said, currently I'm not getting paid off YouTube. I want to show you guys my damn YouTube studio so you know I ain't lying. But my and that video I did on Drake, which I knew I wasn't gonna get monetized for, but I did that motherfucker anyway because I just wanted to share that content with us. And I didn't get monetized for it. That bitch say ineligible. That bitch redder than a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So um let me see. Let me show y'all. Let me show y'all some real shit. Where I'm at. Da-da-da. Let me blow it up. So we right here. Let me see. There we go. I'm gonna show y'all something real quick before I get off of here. Let me show y'all something. Show my fan. I'm gonna show y'all something. Y'all see that right there? Y'all see that? Y'all see that bit? Y'all see the one with Drake? This the one with Drake right here. You see that bit say ineligible? See that? That bit say ineligible. You say this one say sharing. Revenue for this one is being shared with the rights holders with this one here. All these limited. See, you want when you get a video, you want that when you do a video, you want that bitch to do this, bro. Let me see. I'm trying to put that bitch up. Let me see. You want that bitch to be like this, green. You see that? You want that bitch to be green. That bitch is ineligible, or if that bitch is limited, that means you're not making as much money. That means it's limited advertisement on your video. You see what I'm saying? You see how many of them it is? Now this one is the one we own right now, and the reason why that one on at this point is because we still doing it. Now once I end this live, YouTube is gonna go back and they're gonna look and they're gonna tell either they're gonna leave it green or they're gonna drop it to limited. You don't want limited. Limited is You want them green. You want your shit to be lit up green. And as you can see, I told you I ain't getting paid. You see how many motherfuckers limited? These are the lives we doing. Ineligible. That one ineligible. Late night live and breed boy, that bitch ineligible. I ain't get paid a motherfucking thing off of that one. This video, see what I say? This video cannot be monetized. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I was trying to tell y'all, like, so when y'all um donate to the channel, I appreciate it because I'm not really getting paid. I'm not getting paid on YouTube at this time. I told you, your boy don't tell no lies, man. Your boy don't tell no lies. I always have receipts. You know what I'm saying? Why they limit me? I don't know, bro. I don't know why them bitches limited me, bro. Like I don't like YouTube is very vague, bro. Like you, let me tell you something. Ex, YouTube expect you to know all of their guidelines per like, and this shit is complicated. Like okay, they'll like I didn't know that I couldn't upload shorts. I didn't know that I couldn't take shorts from Instagram and record them and upload them, right? So I uploaded shorts on my channel, right? They were doing well. The shorts were doing well. You know, I was getting a couple thousand views here and there. All of a sudden, one day, I cut on my shit. No, somebody hit me up and told me that they got an email that said that their membership to my channel had been canceled, right? So then I went and checked. They had canceled the people. The people couldn't do memberships on my channel, and they had demonetized me. So I hit the little, just a little chat bot thing that you can hit up and ask what's going on. I hit the little chat bot thing going up and asked what was going on. They said that I got demonetized because I uploaded some shorts that were other people's content. Now I didn't get a warning or none of that shit. Them bitches demonetized me for 3 months, right? Then they took the money that I had already made before I got demonetized. They took that. I was supposed to get a check. They took that. They took that. So the money that I got that I made before I made the error in uploading the shorts, they took that. You know what I mean? Like it shit be crazy, but you don't know, bro. I don't know. But yeah, so when I ask y'all to donate to the channel, it be real, bro. It be real. The motherfuckers I don't understand, but yeah, I'm not making no money off this shit. I just be keep going on, man. So there go to Cash App if you would. I would appreciate you guys. We only have a $20 a day goal. You know what I mean? We only have a $20 a day goal. I'm gonna come back on later on, do another live for you guys. I just wanted to break these lives down. This one kind of like political, so I'm gonna break it down. And yeah, I'm telling you, bro, I don't be understanding SLK. I promise you, they YouTube hell, boy. I'm gonna tell you another thing. Yellow Diamond told me that YouTube unsubscribed her to my channel. You see what I'm saying? She had to go back and she wasn't getting no notification, so she had to put my name in the search engine. Once she put my name in the search engine, she had to subscribe again. She said YouTube unsubscribed her to my channel. See what I'm saying? I don't be knowing. It be a lot of weird shit be going on, man. I don't be knowing, man. I swear. But that's why I say, man, just make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. Turn on all post notifications. You know, maybe join the membership if you feel like it, or just donate to the channel, man. I appreciate you guys, man. But shout out to SLK, something like Clout TV, yo, Inglewood. Shout out to Anonymous Ones. Shout out to BJ Blitz. I appreciate you, BJ. I ain't seen you in a while, but I'm glad you're back, yo. Shout out to Denise. Shout out to TN Bowens. Shout out to Chicks 1000, aka the Chick 1K. Shout out to Flyboy Michael 4. Shout out Nephew for real. Shout out Deputy Eula. Shout out to Nay Said It. Shout out to Audio Crack 22. Shout out to Unspoken Crime Murders. Appreciate your gang. Shout out to my girl Denise for real for the super chat. That shit was what it was. Um, I appreciate it. Shout out for Sean Taylor. Shout out to It's Aaron's Way. Shout out to Dre 6100. Shout out to Silk Foster Jr. Shout out to Lil Kel's Truth Movement. Go subscribe to Lil Kel's Truth Movement channel on YouTube. It's a very nice place over there. I think you'll like it over there. Tell them Marita Boy sent you. Um, who else? Who else? Shout out to Invisible Woman. Shout out to Dream Doll. Shout out to Dream Doll. Um, who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Shout out to Eddie. Shout out to Kenny. Shout out to Haley. Um, who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? It's somebody else too. I can't remember. But anyway, man, like, share, comment to the video. I would appreciate it. We'll be going live again a little later on. Just lay around for it. You know, we'll do a late night live. We'll do a late night live. But I appreciate y'all. Probably gonna grab me a little something to eat. And then I'll be back. I'm gonna be looking around for some more content to give you guys, and then I'll be back. Chill.